because reconciliation between China and the Universal Church was a long-time dream of Mother Teresa. And in preparing to be with you today, I was trying to reflect as best I could on almost 30 years of being involved in a mother's dream of reconciliation between China and the Universal Church. And in doing it, I realized something that I had not realized in the process. Sister Prema spoke of the depth of Mother's appreciation of sacrifice and offering. Mother would often mention that a sacrifice was always part of something wonderful happening. And as I was reflecting on what's happened over 30 years, I realized that Mother made, at least that I'm aware of, 3 holy sacrifices so that reconciliation between China and the Universal Church happened. And that's what I want to share with you with that platform today, what those holy sacrifices were like. And because of it, as I reflected more, I'm not surprised that Cardinal Parolin did say what he did, and I won't be surprised if something happens soon, because it reflects Mother's dream and she made such sacrifices. Before doing that, however, I want to share with you this. In October 1993, Shanghai Bishop Aloysius Jin gave Mother Teresa a statue of the image of the Blessed Mother that stands atop his basilica in Shishan, in the west of Shanghai. It's the image of the Blessed Mother holding the infant Jesus over her head, and it touched Mother's soul the instant she saw it. You know why? Because it depicted visually Mother's mantra, to Jesus through Mary. She put the statue, when Bishop Jin gave it to her, in the pocket of her sari, and it remained with her as a reminder of the China dream until the day she died. That statue now is a traveling relic reminder for those around missionary and charity houses throughout the world. And every time that we would meet about China, whether in Calcutta or Hong Kong or New York, Mother would place that statue on the table where we were meeting as a prayer of intercession to Our Lady of Shishan. I was given the same replica statue, and here it is, the Blessed Mother holding the infant Jesus over her head, as if throwing our Lord and Savior into the world, or holding up from China for the world to see. Well, as Mother would do, I'll place it here as we reflect on her holy sacrifices. A replica, a large replica of this, much larger, I think it was made specially, is Cardinal Tong's, Hong Kong Cardinal Tong's Pastoral Center in Hong Kong. As you walk in, the first thing that you see is this huge replica of this same statue of Our Lady of Shishan. And not merely by coincidence, a smaller bronze statue of Our Lady of Shishan was given by Cardinal Tong to Pope Francis immediately after his election to the papacy. And it's said that the statue remains on the nightstand next to the Pope's bed. Mother Teresa is always at work for China. So, with that, Mother Teresa, as many of you may know, long dreamed of her sister serving the people of China. And after bringing her sisters around the world, including to Russia, the United States, Muslim countries, China became and remained her focus. Indeed, Pope St. John Paul II asked her to live her final years as a bridge of love and mercy and reconciliation to China from the Universal Church. Mother first entered China in 1986, accompanied by our beloved Sister Dorothy M.C., at the invitation of Deng Pufang, who was then, in 1986, forming the China Disabled Persons Federation. While in Beijing, Mother also met with Liu Bainian, chair of the Chinese Catholic Patriotic Association. still fondly speaks of the grace of their time together, and just a few months ago reiterated that to me. During her brief stay, I was teaching at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. I was not yet a priest, but I was so elated when her picture appeared on the front page of the China Daily, the English newspaper in China, on newsstands throughout the city. Because discussions with Deng Pufang were positive, and given that he was the firstborn son of China's leader, Deng Xiaoping, Mother thought that her dream of an MC presence in China was about to be fulfilled. But it was not yet to be. Upon departure, Deng Pufang sadly told Mother that the time was not yet right. Sister Dorothy often recounted these days during our many meetings until she went to God just this past year. Mother was heartbroken, Sister Dorothy would recall. I later learned that opposition to collaboration was so strong among factions both in Beijing and the Vatican that even the Nobel laureate and the son of the president could not prevail. 3 years ago, Sister Dorothy, when she helped consecrate the shrine of Our Lady of Shashan in New York, recalled those days as a first holy sacrifice by Mother Teresa for reconciliation between China and the Universal Church. A second holy sacrifice was offered in October 1993. Mother was invited to visit officials in Beijing and Bishop Jin in Shanghai. Discussions had progressed, and she thought that this was the time that Deng Pufang had mentioned 7 years earlier. On arrival in Shanghai, which Mother had decided to visit first out of respect for Bishop Jin, no one was there to greet the Nobel laureate, Mother Teresa. Something had happened, and another heartbreak, a second sacrifice, was unfolding. She had brought with her 13 boxes of items common to all houses of the missionaries of charity. So sure was she that this was the time and this was the place. With no one there to meet her personally, Mother herself helped carry the boxes through customs. I was later told by officials that protocol required Mother to enter China first through Beijing. Her entry through Shanghai was viewed by hardliners as a subtle undermining of the government. After phone calls and petitions, Bishop Jin was permitted to welcome her the next day and invited her to the Shashan Basilica, and she was elated. When the bishop asked her to participate in Mass, her special wisdom emerged, as it always seemed to. Because Bishop Jin's episcopacy had not yet been affirmed by Rome, Mother would be participating in a valid but illicit Mass. So she asked her chaplain, Father Bill Petrie of the Congregation of the Sacred Hearts, to concelebrate, saying to him, Father Bill, if you concelebrate, then it is licit, right? 4 months later, at a meeting in Hong Kong with then papal representative Monsignor, now Cardinal Filoni, Mother recounted the event, asking Monsignor if that had been okay. And Monsignor Filoni responded, of course, Mother Teresa, of course. More than 250 seminarians were at that Mass in Shashan. Mother was invited to speak with them, and her message of serving the poorest of the poor captivated all of them. Today, many of them are bishops throughout China. All of them whom I have met through the years continue to speak of the inspiration that she gave them. One priest began a national foundation in China called Jinda that now serves disadvantaged all over China under the patronage of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Her picture appears in all its facilities. Indeed, one of the next homes for the elderly, we plan to have it named the Mother Teresa House of Love. After all of this, Mother fully expected that she would be able to fulfill the dream and open an MC house in Shanghai. But the next day, Bishop Jin sadly informed her that permission could not yet be granted. Yet was always the word. She was again heartbroken, and she embraced a second holy sacrifice for reconciliation between China and the Universal Church. She then flew to Beijing, met again with Deng Pufang, and was again told that the time was still not right. She did, however, ever confident in divine providence, her faith, she did leave the 13 boxes in the Shanghai Diocesan Pastoral Center, where they remain to this day, awaiting the arrival of the sisters. Mother's third and most intense holy sacrifice soon followed. Overtures had already begun with Hainan province in the south of China. Because of its status as a special economic zone, Hainan had more flexibility and had just completed building a large welfare center for the handicapped, orphaned, and elderly. Relationships with the Hainan Foreign Trade School and Hainan University resulted in discussions with the Provincial Disabled Persons Federation. By January 1994, agreements had been reached for the MCs to serve at the Welfare Center, and details were developed and visas were approved for 4 sisters. This is 1994. Mother Teresa was formally invited to enter Hainan on the Feast of St. Joseph, March 19th. She flew to Hong Kong, where we met with then Monsignor Filoni, who gave us his guidance and blessing. Just hours before Mother was to board the plane for Hainan, word came from Beijing that entry was not to be allowed. Our Hainan friends and officials were confounded and devastated. Mother was heartbroken. We later learned that once again, hardliners in both Beijing and the Vatican had prevailed at the last minute. Mother had been so sure that this was the time. So we gathered in Hong Kong and we prayed for hours on the little table with a telephone while appealing a decision, expecting and waiting for the call from Beijing. All was well. Mother's third and most difficult holy sacrifice for reconciliation between China and the Universal Church was to accept the situation and to depart. It was with such a heavy heart. We promised her that we would not cease our efforts until the time eventually became right. Now, dear Sister Nirmala, who succeeded Mother as Superior General, she was present for all of this. She knew the depth of Mother's desire to serve China, and she saw firsthand the intensity of Mother's pain over the developments with Hainan. She was party to the promise that the effort would continue. And so, Sister Nirmala was ready and eager in 2005 when discussions with the Bishop of Qingdao and local and national government officials resulted in an invitation to open a house in Qingdao. Again, we gathered in Hong Kong and we met with Bishop, later Cardinal Zen, who approved the pilgrimage and gave us his blessing. At the end of a wonderful 3-day visit, the site for an MC house was designated in Qingdao, and the invitation was affirmed. The timing of entry, however, would await further processing. The location designation remains, as does the invitation, but we continue to await the entry time confirmation. These 30 years of efforts and holy sacrifices for China and the Universal Church by and for Mother Teresa have resulted, though, through the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, in a Mother Teresa China presence in very unanticipated ways. In 2003, a third order, unofficially, of the Missionaries of Charity was founded in Hebei province under the inspiration of Mother Teresa. It now numbers nearly 10,000 members, and it has spread to
12 dioceses and 3 provinces, people all living the MC charism. In 2014, its foundress, Li Baofu, led a delegation of Third Order priests and laity on a pilgrimage to Shashan and then to Calcutta, where we met with Sister Prema, Sister Nirmala, and the MC counselors. 12 members and the founders of this MC Third Order in China are here for Mother's canonization. And in Hainan, the Welfare Center has thrived in the spirit of Mother Teresa. The joy and love of the missionaries of charity and the mystery of the Holy Spirit is vibrantly evident there. Even pictures of Mother are displayed. While the sisters are not yet there formally, it seems that they sure are spiritually. In Shanghai, those 13 boxes needed for an MC house, they're still there, waiting the sisters. In Beijing, an aged, handicapped Dong Kufang is still vigilant with memories of his relationship with Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Throughout China, the Jinda Foundation responds to suffering in the spirit and under the patronage of Mother Teresa.
The Qingdao plan is still intact, and hundreds of Chinese youth flock to Calcutta every month to volunteer at the Mother House throughout the year. Chinese bishops have made pilgrimages to the New York shrine of Our Lady of Shashan to pray specifically for reconciliation through the intercession of St. Francis Xavier, who died just on the shore of China. And Venerable, soon to be blessed, Rimado Matteo Ricci, that great Jesuit missionary,
400 years ago. And through the intercession of Venerable Xu Guanxi, Ricci's first Mandarin convert, and the Honorable Song Qingling, the Holy Mother of modern China, whom Mother admired, and of course, especially through the intercession of Blessed, soon-to-be Saint, Mother Teresa. Because of Mother Teresa's unwavering dream, her continuous prayer, and her 3 holy sacrifices, the day of reconciliation between China and the Universal Church approaches, as Cardinal Parolin testified earlier this week. May this day of grace arrive soon, since, as Mother's vision foresaw, the Church in China, given current demographic trends, could well be the largest Catholic community in the world within 20 years. Christ's fervent prayer for unity, that they be